Nuke is the last chance for Wings Up to replicate a performance that seems to be from an era past, even if it was just 2 maps ago. Lynn Vision absolutely dominate Overpass, and they go into the 3rd map with their heads held high, competing for a spot in the upper bracket semifinals of the ESL Challenge League Season 44. WUSMELON starts off strong.
Oh, and taking so much room, Story alongside him, so it's a crunch towards Hell, and LVGEmiliaQAQ has to do his best to keep hold of it, but he can do nothing. All of his teammates died around him. That rotate through Hell was much too committed, and Lynn were targeting that as a part of their hit on that pistol. They'll take it away rather quickly.
Well, not a great side if you've got hopes for Wings Up, but obviously just the best round, and hopefully that is something they can put behind them. They were very good in the, well, very good, but might be a little bit of a stretch, but they were pretty decent at the force buys and half buys from Overpass. Maybe that's a trend we can see continue there.
Gotta hope for it. Won a competitive game between these two, and you know, we're in territories where Wings Up themselves will sometimes pick it in the series. Lynn do dabble. That's why we end up on this as a decider. But again, the preface is that they're building. They're still working all the kinks out, and there have been many a kink. Not the freaky kind.
Not that we know of, at least.
WUSMELON creeping into garage, and with this outside pressure mounting, LVGEmiliaQAQ's not going to be too comfortable. You can see him in a bit of turmoil, moving back and forth between angles. One angle that he tried to take up, already smoked off, and creeping deeper in through spawn. He'll try and find an exit, but it's a quick exit himself. WUSMELON out of the equation, and tags being landed by LVGEmiliaQAQ. This is good damage.
And Gasson just had up over here beautifully. Marek right around the corner. Could have gone for another. G didn't have much HP to speak of, but even so, it managed to maintain. Emilia in a hot pursuit brings it right back to a 2-on-2. And G, well, he's been leaving it all up to Emilia to look out. The rotates, and LVGEmiliaQAQ is in position to be able to take down the bomb planter before it can actually commit to it. LVGEmiliaQAQ, let's go forward. Emilia will be moving forward to try and refrag it out. 10 seconds means that there isn't enough time to get the bomb plant in and the refrag as well. He has to try and go for it earlier on. LVGEmiliaQAQ displays it perfectly and will find them their first round already.
Yeah, I think they came to that quick realization that they didn't have time to hunt down that trade, because they were actually positioning for that, you know, hovering at those double doors and trying to creep through control. But LVGEmiliaQAQ held his position well and knew exactly what he had to do as soon as that bomb was going to be recovered. A stolen round and some great moves, all in all, in spite of the ground that Lynn gained off the early pressure outside. Didn't go much further than WUSMELON's peruse, and all he found was a headshot into his own skull. He didn't find a headshot onto anybody else.
Well, speaking of headshots, WUSMELON has found a headshot, but it's not quite the way he was hoping. Marek, completely overrun, and as much as we may have praised him in Inferno for his aim and his ability to keep a cool head onto things, flying just gets destroyed by the smoke, forcing the door to open inwards, so he's not actually able to get a sightline out. Emilia will have a safer plant as a result of that.
That worked out perfectly. The timings here for Lynn Vision, and even though they have unideal weapons, this post plant is still going to be hard to crack.
Short 12's out, Starry good for 2 in the meanwhile, but the Deagle is going to be taken down finally. WUChildKinG knows where Emilia is as well, forced to reload. Still another player up top on the rafters. Zacher good for the 1G, left alone a 1-on-1. His position was spotted out earlier, but without a kit, WUChildKinG's already given up this round. All he can hope for is $600. That's money that won't be added to his pocket. M4 recovered and picked up, will be looking to fight his way out of there. G, even considering the contest for the last 1-on-1, but is content with just saving the round and bringing it back to Lynn's favor.
And back and forth we go. The pendulum swings, and it will continue to do so at the start of Nuke. This is more what I expected to see from this matchup in this head-to-head, and I guess common ground, common territory is the best place for it. sporadic, a little bit aggressive, and very burst-oriented. Lynn Vision do cut them dry on just pistols. But it will be force buys until teams are able to chain rounds together. No one wants to make a mistake. Very passive hold from Lynn inside of lobby, just in case. They know that they should be on a low buy. They're anticipating pistols. A crunch through lobby wouldn't have been too misplaced.
The CTs are so damn far back, though. Feels like there's really nothing that they can do if the information's taken away from them trying to push through the smoke. They thought that there was only one player covering off. That was a deep CT scout. Lynn Vision with time and the clock running down low are left without the frag on WUChildKinG as well, so he's able to maintain some semblance of control, and outside ends up falling as he re-aggresses into garage, flying on the P250, has got the time to work off of, right? So if they don't go down under, which might end up being the plan, Emilia and company not quite decided about where to go to. Flying's got the crucial frag, drops the bomb as well, and will be able to continue threatening it out. And Emilia naded down on top of it all, a smoke to try and cover his tracks. But as he plants, it's Starry who does even better. Marek, I do believe he can actually move back and recover the Galil if he wants to, but instead prioritizes speed. That speed that will not finding the frag, unable to bring them down. Both players now low. The P250 a headshot away for a double kill twice over, but Marek is accelerating, able to get them both, picking up the rifle and even getting the defuse in the end. What a round between him and Flying.
That is so ridiculous. And a miscommunication, I think, on the Lynn Vision side. The lowest player, the one that was one bullet away from death, swings second, trying to trade off of his teammate, but unable to do so. The force buy wars will continue, and it's all courtesy Marek in the clutch. This is scrappy. Very, very much so. The round starts out pretty well organized from Lynn Vision. There's double aggression outside. You know, they're able to get those two collections, those two kills, dealing with LAN, dealing with WUChildKinG. But then when it came down to the embers of the round, those final moments, like you said, Flying getting that crucial kill on the bomb just added to the chaos. They have been able to get a lot of outside territory in a number of rounds already. This round will be no different. They've been often leaving a lurk, but wonder if they might just commit down secret this time over. No, Zacher will still peruse through garage, has a teammate with him, and the flash timing is good, but Zacher was turned, so not affected by it. Marek loses his teammate, Inspired trying to set him up, so he has to now take over the territory they've just lost, and Emilia is farming 2 kills on holding into lobby. That was supposed to be the counteraction to all this outside aggression, but Lan's now left alone.
Consistent back and forth in the rounds. Lynn Vision, every time they are knocked down, they're able to fight right back. Wings are unhappy about that, but I would be surprised if they don't just go for another force buy behind this Galil as long as Lan is able to save it. And yeah, man, Emilia is just having a really good time so far. Overpass was good. This has been pleasant signs as we start Nuke off on the T side.
Yeah, and it's often his responsibility to, you know, run or be on the other side of the map from his team. You know, often the extremities player, I think, on Anubis, doing much the same. I would say on Overpass as well, but I think we definitely saw Starry kind of take over the show, and Zacher as well. So unsurprising that he's left to his own devices like that, but for him to get both kills, that is really more than he's even really bargaining for. Wow. Great hunt as well there from Starry.
Yeah.
A great idea of where Luan was trying to save that Galil to, and will not be able to succeed in doing so. This will be a bit of an end to the rifles being a part of these force buys in response. You see the answer from Wings Up is all in pistols and a singular SMG.
Question is, can Wings Up put that singular SMG to some sort of ridiculous push, though? WUgaSsS is feeling it. Thinking about trying to move back over towards Secret, and that is where they're destined to go for. LVGEmiliaQAQ sets up the crossfire. You can smell trouble brewing. These four T-side players are going to be able to spot out the first LVGEmiliaQAQ. Swings forward, trying to do a bit more damage. Just soften them up. Let the MP9 finish off what he's looking to start. G, however, picks it up in a little bit of a dirtier fashion. MP9 was spotted earlier, so they don't want to really necessarily test those waters and see how many players could be present. WUChildKinG is gone, and their re-navigation back towards the A bomb site is planned, while 3 players on B are going to be completely dodged out. The only person looking to maybe contest will be WUgaSsS, and that too only with a Molotov.
Yeah, that's perfect. I mean, it's such a great read on how this round was panning out, and as soon as they deal with WUChildKinG, that's the pivotal one. It suddenly makes the A site vulnerable, and they were committed to these rotations down to the lower side. So WUgaSsS just trying to keep them contained, keep them away from his teammates, but will not succeed in doing more damage than just the one. G there to cover his AK. Zacher is welcome to hold the cross, so no rifles can be retrieved, none picked up. Finally, Lynn are able to get consecutive rounds, and so the Force by Wars ends there. Wings Up will have to concede not just to 4, likely to a 5th and a 6th. And a starry P90. He's 10-3.
I mean, if it gave money, right? Like, yeah, I don't know.
It's not about that. It's about sending a message.
I feel like the message was sent on Overpass already. It's all about resending it just in case it hadn't been achieved. Starry not finding any frags, but the one on flying. G steals the rest away and land. I know Zeus is supposed to be chucking the lightning from up above. MP9 picked up, but no bullets in it. Zacher. He is lucky. He is a lucky man. Otherwise, it could have been a one-on-one to try and save there.
That is so ridiculous. I can't believe he made that work. That was crazy. And if not for the fact, you know, a P90 has 50 bullets in it. If not for the fact that Starry just came out all guns blazing and didn't let go of Mouse 1 for most of those fights, yeah, that could have definitely spelled doom for Lynn Vision. Still a very costly round considering. But now Wings Up in a good position to respond. Economically, they have these rifles out, but gas is already plucked out of the equation, so LVGEmiliaQAQ has to make this rotate down through those vents just to try and keep hold of this B site.
Cities are getting aggressive in a way where if they find Emilia, that does actually open up the B bomb site to be shuffled back into. However, Lynn have once again prioritized A. Emilia gets the kill before he dies. What in the world is that shot from WUgaSsS? LVGEmiliaQAQ didn't stand a chance there. And as the bomb is dropped, WUChildKinG registers it. Swing will be coming forward, but before it does, WUgaSsS has already located and eliminated him. Wow, Lynn Vision. I have no idea how WUgaSsS gets that first shot.
Yeah, not only WUgaSsS shot, you know, very quick onto land, but then also having the presence from Emilia. You know, he just peeked into ramp for a second. He found Marix, and he was ready for a turn around into lobby. Just wasn't quite prepared for how close they were, but his job is done. You know, he's added some more pressure. They're as far as they're concerned, you know, they lost outside control. There was all this pressure mounting in that direction, and all that they had to stop them was a smoke. They wanted to re-aggress. They were hoping that Lynn didn't concede and go to B. But once they get a ramp kill, you know, what's to stop you from actually committing to the B bomb site on the Lynn side? And so they almost think that that's the most logical course of action, but they go through the main smoke instead. So it seems like they're reading the counteractions of Wings Up pretty easily here, especially with how free outside has been for them in a number of these seaside rounds already. Their counteraction has been spotted in their re-aggression towards lobby, and I think the real solution has to be just don't allow them outside as free as it's been.
Well, there you have it. It's not free this time over. AK has been recovered from WUgaSsS as well, even if flying is a trade. And WUgaSsS wants to continue contesting over. Knows that this is a real opportunity for a one-on-one. And now that he's capitalized, WUChildKinG will just make it all the more difficult. Land on the reload will be blocked by a teammate. A mistake that isn't quite punished. If, hell man, forget punished. It's even practically capitalized on WUChildKinG. Getting some spam damage onto Emilia, who tried to linger around and collect on the player retreating.
Doing some due diligence, cleaning up the map. There are rifles all over the place, and given that one's already been attained by the Wings Up side, they're just trying to mitigate the amount of free funds that Wings Up can use. Still a possibility, still a way to claw this one away. Emilia has been very impactful, especially when we saw Overpass. There were a few close shaves when it came to these pistol rounds and these half-buys. Emilia often the one to bail them out. She will be able to spot one player into heaven, and there's another gun in their path, but they don't show that same diligence. They're anticipating that Wings Up will be close by. Not a round they're expecting to win, but one that they want to at least make as expensive as possible.
Emilia on the creep through needs to find this just to be able to keep the AK alive and make sure he's not at risk of falling after time or anything like it. Remember, with all these pistols, that is something you want to do. You want to go for it. G is gone. Emilia keeps the AK, and you know what? Loss bonus was low anyway, so I guess even G's death would have been fine, even if it was after the time. But yeah.
I mean, G dies before the time ends, no?
Sorry, I meant to say that it wouldn't really have mattered.
Even if Emilia died after time.
Yeah.
No, that is true. They still have enough cash. It's all good. But, I mean, losing to these half-buy / force buys so far has been a trend here on this map. There's a little bit of investment. There's always a chance. That's always been true, but the chance is supposed to be slim.
Emilia has been one of the crucial players to Lynn Vision's success in terms of the map control he's able to get, even if he isn't necessarily bringing the kills into lobby. And like you said, contesting an outside is important, but I wonder if Wings are also going to start to try and contest him in lobby as well soon. Flashbang through WestMelon to dodge, but it's still set up for a late A-side hit.
It's just worrying. It's the same amount of control that Lynn have had in multiple different rounds. Now they just go through the main smoke, try to split in this A site, and the Molotovs are in, but the kills are coming up all the way here for Wings Up. WestMelon and G all that remain, and WestMelon will get some room. G trading 1-on-2, and knows and suspicious about Heaven, but already out. Marek got there so much faster than anticipated, so unexpected, and it will be 2 survivors and a 1 round for Wings Up.
The 2 outside players from Lynn Vision, as they start to creep through the smoke, are actually a little bit early. The Molotov Molotov to the back of the bomb site pops quite late by comparison to when they're starting to come in. So what should be a hot situation is just made a little bit easier for them. But the thing is, they couldn't wait for the Molotov to pop, because otherwise the outside smokes would have started to potentially dissipate and taken away a lot of that cover. Some small timing windows going awry from Lynn Vision, and all of that map control that they were getting that you referenced, it doesn't matter if they get it if the utility isn't going to be perfectly positioned. You can see WUChildKinG got that first kill without having to stand in the molly at all.
I did think that was the problem area. Like you mentioned, there's a number of different ways you could attack it. Could try pressuring into lobby or taking outside control away from Lynn Vision. We saw it work in the half buy. You know, gas got in their face and they did nothing to address it really. They were simply trying to default. But what will be the adaptation in response here from Lynn? They know they've lost rounds they probably shouldn't have, but Already pushing themselves up to 6. That is a baseline that they'll be satisfied with. There's still more to attain. Maybe it'll be ramp. You know, Marek has been fine throughout this series. You know, didn't have much of an impact on Overpass, but I don't think he was alone in that endeavor. So, as the ramp player, he might be targeted. We've certainly seen how that can open up a map. I think we noted... Did we watch an NKT game where that was the case?
I think so.
I think NKT were on CT side, and I think it was Senzu.
Senzu was just getting demolished, yeah.
Yeah, getting targeted. It can really just open up a series of options where, you know, outside hasn't been heavily contested, but if ramp suddenly gets compromised a number of times over, then you're going to have to add another player there or find some kind of adaptation that works.
Well, speaking of ramp, feels like new area of attack has been located. Are they aware of the reinforcements? Absolutely not. Are they about to be made aware by LAN very soon? Yes, indeed. Good for 3, LAN. Such a difficult spray down as well, considering the angle he opts to adopt, and he managed to make it look easy.
Well, Molotov, that's finally burned Marek. I don't think he was expecting it to last as long as it did. But it's the only kill that Lynn have found after such a committed ramp take. The good news is that they've got Starry down towards lower B, but the problem will be whether or not WUGASsS can link up with it. Bomb dropped at the feet of LAN, and with Gas right behind him as well, will be a tough nut to crack. Oh, they're going to try and sink the door opening.
Wonder if the CTs would have fallen for it, though. Starry is creeping through.
They have no idea.
Not that much time left, and the CTs don't look like they have an idea, but the problem is LAN is actually still in the elevated position, so Starry's angle is very awkward. I don't know if he'll be expecting that to be the case, and LAN is just watching out for it, so yeah, they know now for sure. Starry is accelerating. LAN is creeping through. WUGASsS good for the first contract out. Gas to save the day. That was already looking pretty safe, I won't lie to you, but nice double for him regardless.
This is a good read as well from Wings Up. You know, the first time they've actually had a secondary player over at ramp, and just as I'm discussing them maybe targeting it, that's exactly what Lynn decided to do. So they're all on the same page as far as what the next move should likely be from Lynn Vision. I just don't think Lynn Vision realized that they would have that same read. Wonderful stuff as well from LAN. Very clean kills. Didn't waste a single bullet between each of the 3.
It's really impressive on the A4. Marek, in the meanwhile, traded out Emilia, able to make swift work off him, and LAN. This time, the impressiveness of the A4 is not quite there. On the same way, the bomb can be planted on the B bomb site very soon. The rotations in the CTs are far, far away. But the B bomb site is not the destination of intent.
Nobody's even rotated down. They're not convinced.
I mean, Lynn Vision weren't convinced that the B-bomb site was the correct site to hit right now either, so who can blame the CTs for it? Now with the glass being broken, this is likely going to be a better opportunity. WUGASsS covers off flying, and that completely seals the deal for anyone who wants to rotate back from the vents. WUGASsS, though, caught in the back of his head. LAN able to catch a timing on it, and yet the bomb still isn't planted. The CTs are just holding down and bunkering into ramp in the meanwhile, and as the bomb will finally go down, they will be able to make the decision to rotate. Starry's been given an M4 in the meanwhile. G closes the distance, and if he can take this first duel, there's no flashes to help out, but at the same time, Tech9 close range just gives him a flat-out advantage. Starry's going to keep on maintaining the jiggle with a long-range A1. G closing the distance. Good for 1, make it 2! Beautiful frags as Lynn winds it up to 7 off the back of a half buy and knocks the CT economy back in place.
And a surrounding lack of urgency there from Wings Up to address the B bomb site. They wanted to try and play for a post plant. They still weren't convinced whether or not Lynn would try and redivert or attack Hell, even try and make their way up the vents over towards that A site, and they just wanted to try and play together. But as a result of clustering up like that, it actually made it easier on that post plant for Lynn because they were able to set up in such great positions, holding just the long range angle with the rifle and the Tech 9 up close like you mentioned. didn't work on rifles, but attacking ramp this time when they had pistols was the correct call. Emilia isolated inside lobby, but not a double swing. LAN, AWP wasn't the one to lead. Emilia even getting a double. Okay, he's tripled up, and he's just completely dismantled this crunch.
Okay, so remember how I said they might target Emilia?
Oh.
That's a bad idea, guys.
God damn.
He's just too good. Sometimes you have to accept that someone is better than you and avoid them.
And they bought. This is as much of a commitment as they could have made. A full force. AWP, M4s, pistols. Anything they could have got, they did. And it didn't help them. That is stellar stuff. And more evidence to what I was talking about before as well, about the fact that in terms of autonomy and just the comfort for Emilia, it only took a couple months, but he's all the way there.
My man has got muscles, Michael.
Oh, I don't doubt that.
He hit wings up so hard, one of their players had to reconnect to the server. Shot so good, they go hit the RJ45.
Okay, I don't know what that is.
The Ethernet cable.
Hmm.
I'm surprised you didn't know what that is. You referenced that once like 3 years ago before.
Well, RJ, I've never.
Yeah.
I've never said those letters in that sequence before in my life.
Hmm.
Don't try and gaslight me. How dare you? I know me.
You? Me.
With a 3.
Can't forget that one.
Yeah.
Makes all the difference. Maybe this M4 can make all the difference as well. Not quite the M3 of your name, Michael, but +1 is just better, isn't it? Isn't it?
Is.
Maybe not this time, Belt. Cats can't find anything.
Yeah, M0. And one more O, and it's Moo. Don't know where I'm going with that one. But there's a tiger or a mountain lion on the other side, and Lynn Vision doing good jobs to deal with the problematic players, but the pistols can still be a nuisance. Damage up from land through the vents and finding some presence, but that's about all he'll offer up. He has to concede his spot, bomb planted A, and not much to do. Did they even throw away the M4? I mean, they must hate these guys.
Just making sure they're getting every advantage they can. 9's already been located. 10 might as well be on their way. Double AK, single AK.
And the round done. Up to 9 are Lynn Vision. That was what we were expecting, but we can never count out pistols so far this series. Especially at the start of this map, it was a little bit back and forth. But Lynn have found their feet, and they're standing atop them.
Indeed, they are not doing handstands.
Nope.
Decent buy coming out from Wings Up at the very least. They will have a fighting chance. No ops, but that's hardly been something that seems to be what is causing Wings Up to fail in some of these rounds. One incendiary, though, might be problematic. Expect them to take more map control or try and go for some sort of interesting stack, because holding this A bomb site with only one incendiary early on will be proving to be incredibly difficult.
Good news for them is that Lynn have never really pressured the A-bomb site at the start of the round. You know, usually it has been Emilia left on his lurking, just keeping some eyes on Hut and a lobby push. And so even without those Molotovs, it's all well and good, because Lynn have never really challenged it, and this round will be no different. Why fix what isn't broken? Gonna set up for outside smokes, and This will start to distract, start to pull players away. They'll have to at least honor the fact that they could drop towards the lower side because WUgaSsS doesn't have a sight line.
Meanwhile, WUChildKinG is just worried about the sheer amount of time that they have pushed through that smoke to try and come into mini for the wraparound, but instead this will be the full execute to come forward. LAN is playing up from top rafters, and he will have an angle to work into. Remember, this is very similar to what we saw from him in ramp, but no, ramp is where they're going. Marek covering off only the 1G, and Emilia both tagging and fragging Emilia. Will even start to re-navigate back out over towards the upper bomb site. They want to get these kills, but flying is holding them off from actually entering the bomb site. For now, Emilia just continues in for more. LAN discovered and fragged and tagged, and WUChildKing's the one getting the bag, only to have it stolen right away from him. Lynn Vision will find 10 double digits on T side of Nuke. This is looking dire, but can Wings Up bring it back in the second half? Stay tuned to find out.
You love it, you wear it. What's your style? Get your merch at shop.eslgaming.com.
You sick of all the same dudes running up, follow you around, hope you fall in love, but they don't see you like I do, yeah. All your friends, they see it too, that I'm the one who looks you in the eye, speaking like I mean it, what's inside, no, these others try and play the part, but I'm the one who made it to your heart. Yeah, I show up on time, I know you need that love, tell you everything that you don't hear enough. I fly you out to Paris, see the way they staring, always on my mind, you know I need that love. Yeah, I show up on time, I know you need that love, tell you everything that you don't hear enough. I fly you out to Paris, see the way they staring, always on my mind, you know I need that love. You know I'm always one step ahead of you, holding open doors when you're walking up, cause they don't see me like you do, yeah. There's nothing I won't do for you, I'll be there for you, I'll be whatever you need from me, I'll be, even when it's hard, just know I'll be holding it together, girl, you know that's on me. Yeah, I'm the one who looks you in the eyes.
Domination from Lynn Vision in that first half, and Wings have got to come back swinging if they want a chance in this second.
Yeah, they really need to set their foot down, and they're going to try and go with a lot of aggression over towards ramp. WUSmelon's dualies were in the right spot, but WUChildKinG has plucked out the rotate, and Starry needs to run, but he can do no such thing. It's a 1-on-4 just as quickly as Lynn found the same advantage on their pistol round.
Well, after a good start, at the very least, a pistol win will be nice to take away, but G, something tells me he's not going to find the same 1v1 ending. No, at least not with this position that he has opted into. Got to remember, though, we did have a ridiculous amount of back and forth between the two teams for the first 5 rounds or so, where it was just half by wins after half by wins after half by wins, so maybe this pistol doesn't mean that much.
Yeah, doesn't mean all too much when you're still on the back foot after this pistol round. Just a very fast, explosive one at that as well from Wings Up. Felt like Lynn were a bit more... there was a bit more finesse to it, you know, there was smokes down, there were flashes, they took outside, they wrapped hell, and it just happened to catch Lynn on these rotates, but... Or they happened to catch Wings Up on the rotates, rather, on Lynn's pistol. For Wings Up, it was just brute force and overwhelming the setup.
So, while we were on our break, I did have a quick look over towards the other series happening. Again, guys, spoiler alert. They're on second map between New Happy and IHC. It's 22 and 22.
Yeah, I just had a look as well.
Yeah. So, IHC be sweating. And let's see whether Lynn Vision will be experiencing similar climate conditions.
Happy for New Happy, though.
Sound like an older Happy, though, Michael.
Good for them.
I feel like... Solid mate. Sorry, that's just how it works sometimes.
Yep, goes from being naded in the ass to being shot in the head, so damage on both sides.
Man might not want to be the one peeking forward with 10 HP left on him. Doesn't want to lead the charge. Instead is relegated to door watch duties. Not quite as fun as Baywatch, but hey, maybe one day.
Maybe. Do, 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 do. No one's coming to save you here.
Damn it, I kept waiting for Pamela Anderson there.
Yeah. A nice, methodical, no problems. A very calming second round into this half after our first was met by force buys and it going one way and then going the other. This one far more to plan. Lynn have decided to go with the third round buy, which will leave them a little wanting for utility, but will at least allow them rifles quicker. What they don't want is for Wings Up to start to feel comfortable on this T side. And it would put a lot of importance on a sort of a fourth round gun round. If they lost that, then suddenly Wings Up would be in a position where they could think about, you know, tying the game up. So they get 2 swing rounds before they're in touching distance.
Yeah, they're going to have to go through a slightly more pressured set of rounds, especially because I'm thinking that I want to see how Emilia performs over here on the CT side with the things he was doing on T side. I mean, it wasn't every round because of the way he was positioned. That's why you only see him on 12, but it feels like in my head he should be the one leading the pack.
Yeah, no, it was definitely sharp enough to have done so.
There you
Asking
go.
for a smoke, but might have gotten here a little too late because they're already round the corner in at secret, and so Starry doesn't even want to deploy it.
Completely alone. They're not going to be clearing out this angle just yet. Starry could be sneaking through WUSmelon as well. Is waiting for Starry to activate. Starry setting up for the flank to come in from behind the glasses, and that is where LAN will fall. LAN's demise means that glass is completely unoccupied. WUSmelon guarantees that, and the B-bomb site becomes a little bit less attractive to hit in, but with G's demise, they're actually starting to wonder about whether or not this is going to be an A-side hit. Story looks for exploration and confirmation. Instead, will meet his demise. The B bomb site still having 2 CTs here and ready. Flashbang avoided. Zacher good for 1 as he falls down the vents. WUlaN would have to activate, and soon. The bomb yet to be committed, but Zacher can just swing out and try and get the frag instead. WUChildKinG will not even be able to put up a fight. WUgaSsS left alone, a 1-on-3 and locked in from all sides. He has nowhere to go but A.
Yeah, and Emilia is already fast to rotate round, so WUgaSsS has to go for a safe plant. Will take a lot of damage on his cross, but hunted down by WUlaN. WUgaSsS was trying to find an isolated duel, but will not succeed. A little bit of indecision there from WINGSUP after getting down towards those secret steps and rounding that corner. One not fully clearing out those vents, which does come back to bite them, but then having 3 players committed towards decon, where that's often not the area that's the most contested as far as ramp pressure is concerned, especially if you're going to try and throw this lurk smoke out. It doesn't really feel like you need that extra player there. You know, that could have been someone that was committed towards watching the vents or maybe even a secret flank, but yeah, WINGSUP I think a little cluttered in their comms. Lynn capitalized fully off of it and find the gap in the setup before they hit B. I want more commitment.
I want a little bit more outside control, to be honest, right now. From the CTs. That's something you raised earlier on as well for WINGSUP. It feels like both these teams just don't really want to get aggressive here.
Yeah. So many variations of walls of smoke and different utility that you have to face if you are going to contest this area. You can see why you might want to avoid it.
Oh, G spotted out the player, dropping down, but he doesn't realize WUChildKing's moving past him. The spray giving it up though. WUlaN picks up 2 and the bomb has been revealed as well. G still at the back of CT, watching out for what will be an eventual push to come through from flying, or rather from WUgaSsS. WUgaSsS has revealed his position. G is very well aware of the corner that is being rounded and gets the great shot as well. There's nothing they can do in outside, so what they're doing is preventing deep outside presence, something that WINGSUP was struggling with at times, but this seems to be the perfect solution at this stage. Marek caught out and brought down as well. 5 players kept alive. The AWP will not even be necessary for Lynn Vision.
This is where you want to time out if you're WINGSUP. Not only do they sort of lack the commitment or lack the, I guess, the investment to go towards the B-bomb site in the round prior to that, but this time now they throw the smoke towards lockers. They wait far too long, and that smoke fades. That allowed WUlaN to get these 2 kills when neither of those WINGSUP players were expecting it. They just had a complete mistiming on when that smoke would dissipate. And that was kind of the crux of the problem. You know, they had an intention, they had a target, but they couldn't get there because they just get there too late. Oh, LAN dying to fall damage. Starry peppered him up, but slowed him down so he couldn't make the silo to main drop. WUlaN just trying to escape with his life, and he will succeed in doing so. But I don't know how long that will last.
Not very. Maybe. No.
Yeah. It didn't matter too much in the end. Emilia
Yeah.
made sure it didn't go further than just 1 kill.
I don't know how they go further than 7 here, Michael. Is my concern is because, you know, WINGSUP, when they're getting this much outside control, they're struggling to actually convert that because they're trying to extend the default. What seems to be the case is that they can't find the trigger to pull to turn their default into a site hit. Rather, they want to continue spreading it out and hoping that all of these individual lurking presences can find a frag, and then they collapse.
Yeah, I think they're in trouble.
I know we talked a little bit about amongst the 2 of us in the break, right? That it looked like Wings wheeling up. Lynn is not necessarily doing that much different.
They're just doing it better.
Yeah. Be a stronger turtle, I guess.
Get a harder shell.
With cannonballs coming out from the side.
Well, almost all the utility that Wings Up brought up into this round has been deployed in the early stages of this round. A lot of smokes outside. In fact, there are 4 that are thrown by T's, and I've seen a wall of smoke before. That's not. I don't know what that is. It's like a triangle. I mean, what do you do now? 2 flashes. No presence outside. You've already lost Marek. I don't know how they piece this one together, aside from just going in and hitting nice shots.
Yeah, I think the nice is an understatement. You're going to need some godlike entries if you want a chance here. And the presence of Divinity seems to be severely limited. Sacker, a smoke will just assist him. He gets the initial headshot. It's Emilia to come through on 1. G is covering off his side as well. Godlike shots being hit, but unfortunately not by the right team. Wings Up will not be able to put up a fight in the slightest. And now they're set up to be down 7-15. Should the economy be an indicator of how things are likely to go?
Yeah, it is crazy, right? I mean, we had such a good performance, such a strong opener from Wings Up in this series, but ever since map 1, it does feel like we're such a far cry away from where Wings Up were at the start of today. And now staring down the barrel of a 14-7 scoreline, likely a 15th as well, only a half buy here from Wings Up. Not many ways you could have gone about this. But it feels like they need one of these miracle rounds. They need one of these force buy rounds to work. And, well, this is the only one that they'll have the wiggle room to operate with.
Oh. Maybe another one of those rounds, those half buys, you know?
This is a prime candidate.
Seems like a required candidate.
If there is karma, if everything comes as much as it goes, then Lynn won a half buy kind of similar to this on their T side.
Well, I mean, I don't know if that's exactly how karma works, but G, in the meanwhile, is just going to refrain from revealing his position. They've gotten closer to the elevated ramp. He even gets a leg shot on LAN. WUgaSsS, in the meanwhile, takes down Starry. G, good for 1, make it 2, but Flying Phil will finish him off. 3-on-2, Wings Up have got the advantage, and an all picked up from WUChildKinG will be a little bit awkwardly positioned as the M4 is down and out. Zacher spots out the first, the gun barrel very much visible, but WUChildKinG can just turn it back and take him down. WestMelon unable to find the wall banks, and the clock is ticking down. Molotov has now expired. WUChildKinG wants to take the peek forward, but he knows his HP is hardly conducive to the manner. Lan's got HP, but it doesn't matter. WUChildKinG doesn't have armor. And that'll be all she wrote for the CT side. Lynn Vision finally do take a knee, but it's not in the round you're hoping from Wings Up. They'll take it regardless.
Yeah, and WUChildKinG being able to save that AWP is going to really help them as well. Lan would have wanted to buy that himself, and now can do so while floating some extra cash. That's enough. You know, keeping Lynn away from 15 means that there is still a way back into this game. A much needed round from Wings Up, but it's all about whether or not they can chain off the success of it. Now that they're back onto these rifles, will they be more organized? Will they find a chink in the armor, a crack in the shell? Zacher getting aggressive, so maybe this turtle's got a bit of a beak to him.
What?
Well, they were turtling up. I went back to that.
I get that, but the beak? I don't know about beaks, but WestMelon's got beaks, at least. Starry does the same. Great flashbang from G to enable the quick kill. A Molotov as well to force them forward. One that is quickly extinguished by a smoke, and Wings Up are not looking too hot as far as those smokes were concerned in the first place. Does look like they'll be forced to reroute back in a 3-on-5. You cannot afford to lose out a man to Starry like this. He is just going for the jiggle flashbang. Avoided by Starry. WUgaSsS is down in the meanwhile, and Wings Up. Their death seems to have just been delayed. The inevitability of demise is looming upon their shoulders. And Lynn Vision in this 5-on-2 can do no wrong.
Yeah, and these are certainly heavy hitters, but very tall task. Land, lovely shot onto Westmelon, taking a off angle. WUChildKing's also got his. This isn't over until it's over. 2-on-5 being attempted, and the AWP of G just turns in time. Heard the steps, and WUChildKing quick trade, but there's Zacher flanking all the way outside. It comes close, and it is certainly scary, but it's 15 nonetheless for Lynn.
Like I said, it just feels like Wings Up do not have a chance in the slightest to bring it back. The only way I can see this is going to be through the lower bracket at this stage. Couple of last hurrahs over the back of the buys that they have gone for. You know, you've got 2 AKs, Galil's, Tech 9, but even if you can get this round, what's there to work with in the future? Emilia, close range. Galil spotted out, flying is gone. Zacher is just covering off his side, but not the side he needed to be covered. WUChildKing will fall. Zacher has Land to contend with, and sorry, will be feeling safe to move out of the smoke. Good that he does as well. There's trades all over the place. It's a 1-on-1, but gas is low, and the call should be there. Only 8 points of HP. Time aplenty to pick up the bomb and see if he can rotate over down to the B bomb side. I think G might have spotted him right out the corner of his eye. If he did, it hasn't been registered by him or any of his other teammates.
I don't think it's about whether or not he spotted him. They know that the bomb was dropped front side main and it has disappeared. Now those digits being dialed in, he'll know he's on the wrong side of the map, but he also knows he's low.
M4 picked up, so at low HP becomes all the more difficult to try and contend with gas. At least he'll have all your Qs, but nothing else to help him out. Lynn Vision will find 16. They will move on and face off versus the winner of IHC versus New Happy in the upper bracket. What a performance going through from them. They looked completely unstoppable in the last 2 maps.
Yeah, and a grinder of a series, it felt like, especially with how poor things started at the start of it for Lynn, only for them to bounce back and have these commanding score lines of